I'll never forget the morning Lisa stood there, one hand clutching a frosty latte, the other filming with her phone as a bulldozer tore into what she called an abandoned eyesore of a trailer. The metal crumpled like tinfoil, but the second it split open, chaos erupted. Alarms screamed, red lights flashed, and a sleek black drone shot into the sky, buzzing like a hornet from a kicked nest. Before anyone could blink, a scruffy guy in a hoodie burst from the woods, badge gleaming, shouting, "You just obliterated an active FBI surveillance post." Lisa, unfazed, sipped her coffee and said, "It didn't have a community sticker." That's when I knew we were all in deep trouble. This whole mess started 9 months earlier when Lisa, real name Elizabeth Marie Thompson, moved into our quiet suburban neighborhood and crowned herself its unofficial dictator. We called her Lisa because every move she made screamed overzealous busybody. Armed with a clipboard she wielded like a scepter, a floppy sun hat fit for a soap opera, and an unshakable belief that the Homeowners Association was her personal empire, she judged everything, crooked blinds, chipped fences, even squirrels she deemed too bold. Nothing escaped her wrath, but her obsession hit fever pitch when she spotted the trailer. Tucked at the edge of our development on a wooded lot just outside HOA control, the trailer was easy to overlook. Shrouded by trees and draped in a camo tarp, it had no driveway, no mailbox, no lights glowing at night. To most of us, it was just some forgotten utility shed or a hunter's stash. To Lisa, it was a blight on her perfect vision of suburban bliss, a potential den of drug dealers or worse. She'd cruise by in her golf cart every morning, slowing to a crawl, scribbling furiously on her clipboard, her lips pursed like the trailer had personally insulted her rose bushes. No one knew who owned it. The lot belonged to some cryptic LLC with a jumble of letters and numbers, and the place was a ghost during the day. But at odd hours, shadowy figures in hoodies would slip into the woods, stone-faced men who moved with purpose, like they could snap your neck but preferred subtler methods. One neighbor, Mia, swore she saw a guy scaling a tree with what looked like an antenna strapped to his back. We laughed it off as a UFO chaser. The idea it was federal never crossed our minds. Lisa didn't see a mystery, she saw a threat to property values. When the HOA board told her the trailer was outside their jurisdiction, she scoffed, "That's why we have emergency powers." She began documenting it obsessively, snapping photos from every angle and firing off complaints to the city, which ignored her like everyone else. Undeterred, she called an emergency HOA meeting, storming in with a slideshow dubbed Operation Neighborhood Pride. Dramatic music blared as images of the trailer flashed on screen, overlaid with flames and the words, "Crime Magnet," in bold red. Neighbors chuckled until she claimed it was a hub for illegal waste dumping and swore she'd smelled gas nearby. That silenced the room. One board member, Tom, a guy who only showed up for the free bagels, mumbled, "Maybe we should check it out." Lisa took that as a green light. The next day, she hired a sketchy contractor named Jake, a guy with a bobcat and no license, paying him cash and promising official HOA backing without a single permit. She told him to hit the trailer at dawn, flatten it, and haul the scraps to a junkyard before anyone asked questions. Jake, not one for details, shrugged and said, "Whatever you say, lady." The night before the demolition, warning signs piled up. Lisa strutted into the local cafe, ordering her latte as a CommunityCrusader. She spent hours printing flyers with mock-ups labeled, "Trash-free tomorrow." More ominously, around 2 a.m., 2 men in tactical gear were spotted near the woods. One toting a satellite dish, the other muttering into an earpiece. They moved too precisely to be thieves, but no one called the cops. They looked like cops. At 6:45 a.m., the bulldozer roared in. Lisa trailed behind in her golf cart, sporting a t-shirt that read, "Pride over junk," latte in one hand, phone recording in the other. Neighbors gathered, some in pajamas, whispering about the illegality but too curious to leave. Jake hesitated, asking, "You sure this is legit?" Lisa waved her clipboard like a royal decree, and that was enough. The first strike was deafening, the trailer buckling like a crushed can. But the second hit unleashed hell. Red lights blazed from the wreckage, a piercing alarm wailed, and a high-pitched whine grew louder until a jet-black drone launched skyward, hovering and scanning the crowd. Lisa yelped, "What in God's name is that?" and dropped her phone. From the tree lean, a muddy figure in a hoodie sprinted forward, radio crackling on his chest. "Everybody back," he barked, flashing an FBI badge. "You just compromised a federal surveillance operation. Who's behind this?" Lisa stammered, "I thought it was abandoned." Another agent dashed in, radioing, "Visual on target house lost. Trailers down. Exposure confirmed." His voice wasn't panicked, it was colder, sharper, like a blade. Lisa, stepping back, whispered, "You were spying on someone." The first agent, eyes like steel, said, "You just demolished a $3 million surveillance post." "So yeah, we were." Her jaw flapped, pointing uselessly at her clipboard, then the debris, then the drone still circling like a vulture. In 5 minutes, Lisa had turned our sleepy suburb into a national security nightmare. Neighbors stood frozen, coffee mugs trembling as agents swarmed the smoking wreckage. The bulldozer sputtered silent, leaving only the drone's hum and the crunch of boots on gravel as more feds arrived. One in tactical gear with a comms headset muttered to the lead agent, "Primary visuals gone. Asset relocation likely. OperationNightOwl is blown." The words meant nothing to us, but the agent's clenched jaw said it all. Something massive had just unraveled. Lisa tried to slip to her golf cart, but Agent Harper, the badge-wielding hoodie guy, blocked her. "Who authorized this?" he asked, voice low but lethal. Lisa, clutching her composure, squeaked, "I'm HOA president." The board agreed. It was a hazard. I had authority. Harper didn't blink. "Got permits? Court orders? Anything legal?" She brandished her clipboard, ranting about appearance codes and how the trailer violated every rule. Harper cut her off. "That junk was tracking a cartel trafficking ring for over a year. Your stunt likely tanked the case and endangered lives." As if scripted, another agent reported the cartel house 2 blocks away had gone dark, cars gone, shutters drawn, gear vanished. They'd moved too fast for coincidence. The bulldozer had tipped them off, exposing the trailer's hidden cameras and antennas. Lisa's allies on the board, who'd nodded through her slideshow, now scattered, staring at their phones or the ground. Tom muttered, "I thought we were just writing a letter, not tearing it down." Lisa snapped at him, but her voice cracked, panic seeping through. Agents uncovered her forged demolition approval, a shoddy signature traced in different ink. By noon, unmarked SUVs rolled in, yellow tape went up, and the trailer became a federal crime scene. Local cops and news drones descended, neighbors' shaky videos of the drone's launch and Lisa's stunned face went viral. A meme of her beside the wreckage, captioned "HOA Hero, Federal Zero," racked up thousands of shares. Inside the crumpled trailer, agents salvaged scraps of a high-tech setup, cameras, encrypted receivers, thermal scanners, all rigged to self-destructive breached. Terabytes of data were wiped the moment the walls caved. Lisa's quest for curb appeal had obliterated a year's worth of intelligence. Agent Harper, in a makeshift tent, called his boss, frustration barely veiled. Target structure destroyed. Operation blown. Civilian interference. Yes, HOA related. After a pause, he added, "We'll press charges. Destruction of federal property, obstruction, possible endangerment." Lisa, overhearing from the curb where an agent had sat her like a scolded kid, spun around, pleading, "I was protecting property values. You can't blame me for caring." Harper's reply was ice. "You bulldozed a federal outpost during a sting. You ignored warnings. Your clipboard isn't a law degree." The fallout snowballed. Subpoenas hit HOA board members, who spilled emails and texts proving Lisa acted alone. One revealed she'd threatened to expose dissenters. Another found custom HOA-approved stickers she'd planned to slap on the rubble. In the HOA clubhouse, agents uncovered Lisa's secret logs, photos of teens parking sloppily, a man trimming hedges too high, a woman sunbathing behind a fence. Worse, she tracked non-HOA houses, logging license plates and facial snapshots with a zoom lens. A hidden safe held a bombshell, a complaint about a towed van with a faded government sticker. It was DEA, part of another sting Lisa had disrupted months earlier. Harper's face darkened. This wasn't one mistake, it was a pattern. Lisa had turned the HOA into her personal fief, meddling with federal ops under the guise of beautification. He called his supervisor, make an example of them. At her house, Lisa unraveled, flipping through HOA bylaws as her frazzled lawyer begged her to stop talking. She drafted a press release, the eyesore conspiracy, painting herself as a patriot duped by a shady government. Leaked online, it became another meme. News headlines screamed, HOA chief faces charges for wrecking FBI sting. The neighborhood turned on her. Proud HOA signs vanished.